Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, entitled uncle and his kids tried to steal my expensive watches during a party. Update: entitled uncle and his kids tried to steal my expensive watches during a party. Final update: entitled uncle and his kids tried to steal my expensive watches during a party. Karen wants what I have in my shopping cart. Girl tries to trick me into changing seats on airplane. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled uncle and his kids tried to steal my expensive watches during a party. I, 17M, passed from 10th with a great percentage, and my parents decided to throw a party for my friends and close relatives and cousins. It was at home only. Many of cousins, grandparents, best friends, uncle aunts, all were there. Now I'm a person you would call fashion freak and like to keep a wide range of watches, accessories and shoes to match with my clothes. My accessories, except watches, are not that expensive, but my watches are. They are quite expensive for someone aged me and even older than me, but most of them are gifts and prizes from tournaments I play. My uncle, entitled uncle, is not really well off as he decided to have a large family, and by that I mean 8 kids, 6 girls, 2 boys. He lives in an area with high cost of living and often asks for cash from his brothers and will never return, but not really large amounts. Now most of his kids are younger than me and quite well behaved, but the oldest two, 18M, 16F, I will refer to them as EK, are total crazy people. I didn't want to invite those two but had to. So, now getting to the main part. During the zero party, my older cousin EK asks me where the washroom is. This was odd because this wasn't the first time he was there, but I told him the directions. My room was in the way to the bathroom. I live in my room and have all my things out: watches, chains, rings and shoes, etc. As I am the only kid and no one usually enters anybody's room since me and my parents are always out for studies and work. After some time I saw my uncle and smaller EK also going towards that direction. This was extremely odd and I went behind them and I saw what I never wanted to. They entered my room and were going through my stuff. I took my phone out and started recording from a small opening in my door and went with the party as nothing happened. After a few hours, when it was only immediate family, all my friends had left, I noticed those 3 getting really uncomfortable and quiet and seemed like they wanted to leave early for obvious reasons. And they started to gather their things, when I stopped them and asked them to return my things or I will manage a sias. They, like any foolish person, started to act like they knew nothing and accused me of lying. I showed them the recording and said that I had already sent it to everyone there and just need to switch on Wi-Fi for it to get uploaded. And still they lied, so I did what a bad person would do. I sent everyone the video and after a few minutes there was crying, shouting, cursing and whatnot. They still refused to give them back, saying that they need them and we could just throw a few bundles of notes and get them back. While all this sias, I had already seen if they had anything in their jeans pocket and no, they were empty. No, I didn't check the pockets by opening them, but they would have been visible like a bulge since they are bulky watches, so the only place possible they could have been was my EK sister's handbag. Didn't want it to buy, had to snatch it and drop all the stuff on the floor, and there they were, almost $12,000 worth of accessories like watches, rings, bracelets and chains. She got mad and tried to gather stuff around, but her younger sister stopped her. She has become one of favorite since then. I quickly picked up all my stuff and went to keep them in my room and locked the room from outside. Those 3 by now had become mad and were crying and left the house immediately with the rest of family. Aunt had been apologizing, but it wasn't her fault, so I can't accept that and politely told her, and she respected my choice. Surprisingly, all my being on my side, my mother had been saying that I was wrong to snatch her purse and take out all stuff and go through it as girls, as personal stuff. I think I didn't do anything wrong as my stuff was more precious to me than their dignity in the family, but still was I in the wrong? If you put $12,000 in stolen goods in your purse, you don't get to complain when someone accidentally see your tampon. And even if they did see your tampon, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Bodily functions that are normal shouldn't be seen as taboo. No disrespect intended. Your mother is a spineless asshole. The girl did have personal stuff in her purse. OP's personal stuff. The moment they went through his stuff in his room, they give up any right of privacy in that house. Ata. I think it's Timex for you to go and see. Just a suggestion from an everyday citizen. If they are strapped for Casio, they should get a loan or something. Saying they need it is pure Bulova. Just tell them to Rolex on out of here, especially that old fossil of an uncle. Just Movado on out. If your mother says anything but to support you, say you'll report EU and EK to the police. Let them sort it out. They are thrives. You handled this masterfully. Ask Mom if you had allowed them to steal your stuff, is she willing to repurchase everything they had stolen from you? If the answer is no, then she can pound sand. You did the right thing. I hope you made sure to send that video to every member of your family to let them know that allowing your EU and the EKs into their house might end up with them stealing from them. They need to be ostracized from the family, and maybe the family should really think about stopping loaning them money, since a loan is not what they're doing. It's not even that. What kind of ouch steals from their family like that? Opie should have called the cops before they started to leave. After that stunt, they would never be allowed in my house again. NTA. You grabbed the purse because it was full of your stolen items. NTA, you should have just called the cops right after filming them. Update: entitled uncle and his kids tried to steal my expensive watches during a party. First of all, thank you to all those who were providing their suggestions and support for me. Many of you suggested if my mother keeps supporting them, I should just report to police, and I think I would, but not now, as something more disturbing is happening. This all happened about a week ago, but I decided to upload about a day ago, but in this one day span, a lot has happened. As I told, my uncle's family used to get financial help from family, mainly grandparents. They decided to stop the assistance and revealed they had been giving them about $20,000 to $24,000 every year for past 7 years. It also got revealed that my mother was also giving a lot of money to them, which she used to take out from here and father's joint account for shopping every month. My mother has been staying with them for past 5 days, and said that my entitled female cousin needed emotional support after what I did to her and the hate comments she is getting from the other family members. My mother has also taken out more than $4,000 in these past few days. My dad blocked her cards and bank account access yesterday, and all those three, and my mother had been blowing my gather's phone and claiming him to be a horrible person and would be the reason if something happens to his kids because of us. My dad has arranged me a new apartment about 2 hours away from here and really close to my new school, university, and friends where I could stay now, as I would turning into an adult soon. I have started shifting my stuff, books, clothes, and OFC accessories, consoles, and everything valuable, etc. Now, this is the part which broke me. In the past few years, a lot of my stuff had gone missing. In starting, it was books, toys, and some expensive stationery items, mostly my paints and sketchbooks. I love to draw and sketch. But I shrugged them off as I might have missed them in school or at friends. Then it was shoes, and even my favorite clothes. At this time we changed a lot of house stuff, thinking maybe they were taking it, but then even my phone went missing during a party, and it was still unknown where that stuff went. But yesterday, when my aunt came home to apologize for everything, she revealed that my mom had been giving my stuff to my cousins as they liked those things and could not afford. I was devastated and knew that it was my mom only who would have gave them permission to take my stuff, and that's why she wasn't home, so that it would not get revealed. But now I know everything and might never talk to her, and will stay and see why her. My father is furious and is crying day and night as she used to love her, but she was always being dishonest with him and was stealing. I don't know, but they might divorce. I don't know what to do now. I would appreciate any suggestions. I feel bad for your situation, but at least your dad is doing the right thing by getting you out of there and away from those toxic people. I would just suggest that you stand by him because he's the only one looking out for you there. Your mom clearly has no respect for you and your possessions by giving things away without your knowledge. Unfortunately, the marriage may fall apart, but the only one at fault is your mother since she's been deceiving you and your father. Whatever happens, it's not your fault. Agreed. Father is stepping up. I don't think there's a lot to do to save a relationship with someone who felt it was okay to fire the help over thefts that they themselves were committing. Your mother brought this on herself. Her priorities are all screwed up. Your father needs to make a clean break. Your mother's lies and thievery will never stop. Good luck, and don't blame yourself. Press charges against your mother and cousins for the theft. I know it sucks, but they need to have consequences for their actions. I'm sorry this happened to you. Before you go, see if you can talk your dad into getting into therapy. He needs to talk to someone who can give him an unbiased opinion on everything. It sounds like he may be blaming himself for part of it, but neither of you did anything wrong. You both trusted the person you should be able to, the person who should always have your back. Once you get settled in your new place, check into therapy yourself. It may feel like you're okay, but any unresolved feelings you may have but don't seem to notice right away may affect any future relationship you have. Once you're gone, your mom will try to get back with your dad. She also needs to get into therapy so she can understand what she did was wrong. If your dad does take her back, try to get him to keep all accounts separate. Cameras should be placed around the home to make sure if anything goes missing, the wrong person isn't being accused again. You said past workers were being blamed for missing items. Talk to your cousin, let her know that you don't blame her for what the older ones did, that you realize they were just trying to make her an accomplice, and try to let everyone else know she is not to blame also. Hopefully, you'll all get the help you need and your futures will be brighter than what today is. First, report to the police immediately. Tell them what your cousins did. Second, I would recommend therapy for you and, most importantly, your father. You did nothing wrong. Your mother has been stealing from you and your father. This is all on her and your cousins. They knew what they did was wrong, that's why they were secretive. You did nothing wrong. You were just unfortunate enough to have a mother like that. I think the sooner you can get out and clear your head, spend time with friends who care, look after your dad, and maybe give you and your mom space to then talk. It's then up to you what you want to do, but I would also suggest you and your dad getting help through this because you have been manipulated and lied to for a long time. Make sure you look after yourself. I'm so sorry. Keep being there for your dad and let him be there for you. Give him a hug, do a chore unasked, maybe say you love him, anything. Small gestures do a lot. Talk about your feelings. Your mom hurt both of you and your dad might feel like he has to hide some of his feelings. But remember, you don't have to do anything now. You can stay away from your mom and focus on you. You don't need to fix her or your dad. Focus on school, ignore troublesome relatives, and enjoy your hobbies. Well, your mother picked her side, and it was the wrong one. Honestly, she's been stealing from you for years. I wouldn't be forgiving or forgetting that. The whole lot of those thieves need cut off, and if they can't provide for their kids, that's on them. I find it suspicious how you seem to have so many posts in this subreddit, and all of them seem to be in diff genders and countries and different scenarios. Very, very suspicious. Final update: entitled Uncle and his kids tried to steal my expensive watches during a party. What started as a watch theft may now result in 2 divorces. First of all, thanks to all who suggested various things, and I would doing some of them. Some of you suggested to move out as soon as possible. That won't be needed as of now, as my mom is not staying with me and I changed home locks with my dad's consent. I have also started move my important stuff to the new apartment, like my clothes, accessories, study material, and consoles, etc. My dad, after getting emotionally stable, decided to go out. I wanted to accompany him, but he didn't let me. He returned after a few hours and upon asking told that he made some changes into his financial accounts and other things. He dissolved the account he opened for my cousin's study after my mom manipulated him into opening one. I never knew it had almost 7 figures in it. He also removed my uncle's name from the car ownership he drives as second owner. My dad gifted him the car. He also removed my mother's name from all possible places she could get any money, her credit cards, accounts, etc. My aunt again visited yesterday to provide support for my dad as he is still not emotionally recovered. TBH, I adore her much more than my crazy mom. She also revealed that she is getting thought of finally having a divorce. She wanted to get it 10 years ago, but my mom and uncle persuaded her not to, and she won't be well off after that. She also told that my uncle had been emotionally and physically abusive to her right after they had their first kid. He had been to jail several times after stealing from his previous workplaces, and so did his eldest kid twice. I tried to be as supportive to her as possible. She went to stay with her mother for the future time period until she starts with the legal proceedings. She might get the custody of smallest two as they are still under 6 and need her. Your comment and sweet words provided me the support I needed during this time, and I am thankful to all out there providing their concerning words to me. I might not update anything now, but if my mom or uncle tries to do something crazy, I will keep you all updates with those people. Again, thank you all. OP, you must be devastated to find your mother was enabling the thievery. It sounds like you are moving past it after the initial shock. Your father sounds like a rock. Glad your aunt is supporting you and your father. Keep your remaking family close and best of luck to you. In 1 week, his dad removed his mom from all the accounts, got his uncle's name off the lease, his dad found him a new apartment close to uni, and now 2 divorces. Look at his account, he posts stories here every day. He's either lying about the time period or the whole thing is BS. Put up cameras in your new place and try to get your dad and aunt to put them up where they live. You should all expect retaliation. Hoping for a better future for you all. This is excellent advice. Cutting off moochers and thieves does not mean they will no longer want what they were getting before. I am sorry you have to deal with those things going on. So glad you have your dad and aunt. A new normal can be difficult at times, but keep your close family with you as you guys move forward. Good luck, OP. Here's praying for peace in your family and best wishes, and please do keep us updated. Remember to get a good home insurance to protect your valuables. That's a great idea. I don't know if they have renter's insurance. I've always had, and so did my brother. It came very handy when his apartment was robbed. He got the money equal to the value of his stolen items. Karen wants what I have in my shopping cart. Today, I went shopping at a Members Warehouse store. I was in line waiting to check out, and this total stranger of a woman asks me about an item I have in my shopping cart, breakfast bars that my husband really likes. I tell that they are good and my husband's favorite. She says she is going to get them, so I start to tell her where they are located in the store. She says, well, since you know where they are, I will just take these and you can go get some more. I tell her no, you aren't taking those, and just as I tell her that, the person who helps expedite the checkout process comes up and starts to get all the barcodes turned upright. The Karen tells her that she is getting my breakfast bars. And I say no again. The employee directs her to where she can get her own box, and Karen literally stomps her foot and says, why can't I have these? The employee tells her because they're in my cart and I am checking out now. The employee did have someone come over and take Karen to where the breakfast bars were located. I did get the employee's name and I left her a positive review on the website. I will never understand why people are so oblivious to the fact that they're not owed anything. It baffles me and probably others. And you can't argue with them because they'll always feel like they're right. People who do things like that have to be a little insane. Would love to see another customer take the last crackers as she arrives at the breakfast aisle. I absolutely would have if I witnessed that, LOL. A long time ago, one of my friends was shopping at the commissary on a military base. A woman came up and took an item from friend's cart and placed it in her own. Friend confronted her and took it back, and the woman flipped out. She started screaming, "What rank is your husband?" Friend told her last time she checked their dependent ID cards were the same color. Woman screamed about husband's rank over and over. He, of course, was a high-ranking officer. It escalated to the point of the military police showing up, and friend got her item and went off on her merry way. I'm pretty sure she said it was a loaf of bread. Bet her hubby was happy. It's my understanding that it is frowned upon to try to use your spouse's rank to get special treatment. Can anyone with military experience affirm or deny this? My goodness, that was the Karen of Karen's mine. She has some nerve. People are getting worse and worse. Once I was at a discount store and was buying elephant figurines that I collect for my elephant room. This one lady looked over at my cart and said something in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, and her kids looked over at my cart, and then one of them picked one up and was trying to hand it to his mom when they thought I wasn't looking, but I did and took it out of kid's hands and told him in a way, "It's mine." The mother looked at me and said like I had done something wrong. Some of the things they have either in limited amounts or have sold out. This is where I wish I could just tell the associate, "Can you help this person? I think she has dementia and doesn't understand what's going on. She's asking questions that don't make sense, maybe page somebody?" I was a warehouse store famous for rotisserie chicken. I had chicken in my cart, but there were no more quite ready, man said less than 10 minutes. So I'm looking at ready-made meals with my child in the cart. Lady comes over, sees there are no chickens, reaches into my cart, takes my chicken and transfers it to her cart and walks off. I'm speechless. Guy behind counter is yelling at her. I said, "Let it go. I didn't want chicken." She had her hands all over it, and I don't deal with crazy people. Guy behind counter called manager and I got a free chicken, but still can't believe it happened. Crazy people like warehouse stores. Ugh, I hope there was none left when she got there. Yeah, right, she wanted your food and your place in the queue. Nope. Girl tries to trick me into changing seats on airplane. I was on an airline with my family who were sitting in the 1 or 2 rows in front of and behind me. The random girl next to me at the window seat was talking to her friend who was sitting directly behind me. The friend then asks me if I can switch seats with her so she can sit next to her friend. It's still within the vicinity of my family, so I agree to it and we swap positions. She's laughing with her friend and turns and say, "Okay, my seat is way back there." Since she had standing in the row behind me talking to her friend, it had appeared like her seat was 1 row behind, but her actual seat was like 20 rows behind at the back of the plane. I told her, "I thought you wanted me to switch 1 row back. I'm not moving to the back of the plane. You didn't mention that before, and I can see you did it on purpose because you're laughing about it." She told me I agreed to switch and it's too late now, as if we're in high school. I told the flight attendant that the girl is in my seat, and she told the flight attendant that I agreed to switch. Without getting into who said what, I told the flight attendant, I didn't ag and I've never spoken to this person in my life. They were angry and yelling, but it was either go to her seat or get off the plane. The only issue I was concerned about was having to awkwardly sit next to her friend for a few hours. The situation resolved itself when they got someone from the back to switch with them. You met her challenge and bested her. Well played. You already agreed, tongue sticking out. Jesus, some people don't deserve common courtesy. A contract made under false pretenses is not lawfully valid. Girl's argument was off from the start, lol. Agreed. Reading and seeing so many accounts of people being asked to change seats and that mostly not ending well, I'd say never say yes if you will directly be sitting next to someone you know. These cases rarely have a happy ending. And what happened to you is frustrating AF. There is plenty of time to book your desired seats these days, and I'd say if you have a medical issue or anything, you can pay and choose your seat, or sometimes the airlines will do it for you. The issue is immature adults who have never been told no in their lives and think the world revolves around them. If, as an adult, you can't function within a space that has some rules or guidelines, you should not be there. I hate it when things like this happen. I'm glad you caught her in her lie. She knew what she was doing. Good playing dumb like she played dumb. Bottom line, never switch seats unless your seat is on fire. Even then. If the plane explodes and you were supposed to be in the back, but moved to the front, you'll be killed first. It gets even more complicated when you wake up and realize that was all a dream, causing a scene and preventing you and your friends from boarding. Then, when death comes after you, you're gonna think you were supposed to be the first one to die, but you'll actually be the last. Just makes everything so messy to switch seats. Never change horses in mid-race. If another line opens up at the grocery, invite the person in front of you to go ahead and take it. Stay with your horse. Uno reverse for the win. GG champ. Never switch seats. Should anything happen, they will assume you are in the seat assigned to you. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.